Welcome to Space TV. I'm Richard Elisha Tuzeme. The murdered barrister for Lagos, Bolanle Rahim, when they killed by Assistant Superintendent of Police for Lagos, December 2022, don't get justice. This barrister, I remember, say she gave belle when this Superintendent of Police say shoot and die. You get the point. So finally, she don't get judgment yesterday for Lagos. They just sentence Drambi, name the Assistant Superintendent of Police name, Drambi. They just sentenced him to death by hanging yesterday. This one, and I warn you to every trigger freaking police officers. I mean, when I say commend the Lagos State judiciary system, when we say that they deliver prompt judgment. If at all, if all judgment they go well like this, quick and fast, I know say Nigerians go get hope for our judiciary system. Observe and when it is sentence the police officer.
Excuse you. Hey.
Presented 11 witnesses, including family members of the deceased and team members of the defendant who witnessed the incident that day. The pathologist said Mrs. Rahim was fired at close range, and the armorer testified that 2 bullets were missing from the defendant's weapon afterwards. The ballistician's report was found to be inconclusive because the defendant's gun, upon examination, had some defects, as the bullet fragments retrieved from the vehicle couldn't be matched with the gun. But the court said the fault will not result in the gun firing itself and that it was the only weapon fired that day. The court found it strange that the defendant, who was the police team lead at the checkpoint, was the only person that didn't hear the loud gunshot heard by the witnesses. The judge accepted the evidence of the deceased sister, who had gone on to hold on to the defendant's shirt after the shooting, as well as bystanders who pointed at him as the shooter.
The prosecution is obviously happy about the results of this conviction, and we hope it will bring a closure for the family of late Mrs. Bolanle Rahim.
The judge has done exactly what he has been sworn in to do, which is the responsibility to deliver justice in good time.
The court said the defendant didn't dispel the evidence that he was seen to have fled into a minibus where he was dragged out from and taken to the hospital Mrs. Rahim was rushed to. Even there, he changed into a mufti and hid under a staircase.
The Spirit of the Lord directed me, and I know He didn't direct me. I did it on pro bono. All of us must not just cast astigation because we have one bad egg and believe all of them are bad.
My Lord even went to the extent of considering the possible innocence of possibility of reduction of sentence of the defendant. But even considering his defense, it was still so watery that there was no other way than to determine the case in favor of the prosecution.
Despite the guilty verdict, the defense counsel says the defendant will consider an appeal.